Hey everyone, Rich Gasaway here. Before I get into today's episode, I want to let you know that I have a few openings remaining in October, November, and December for situational awareness programs. If your department hasn't held a training program yet on situational awareness, don't delay, please. The issues related to situational awareness and the barriers that flaw awareness are implicated in nearly every significant first responder casualty report. It's a really, really big deal. The problem is most first responders know so little about it. They think so long as they pay attention or keep their head on a swivel that they'll have good situational awareness. If you talk to anyone who's attended any of my situational awareness programs, they'll tell you that's simply not the case. Sure, paying attention is an important part of situational awareness development, but it isn't all of it. There's so much more. Those who think situational awareness is just paying attention or keeping their head on a swivel are simply uninformed. You can't afford to be uninformed on a topic that is this important, a topic that can literally save your life. There's too much at stake, as situational awareness serves as the foundation for good decision-making, and it's the decision-making that drives the actions that lead to successful outcomes or catastrophic outcomes. If you're interested in getting a program booked, just go to my website, samatters.com, click on the Contact Us link, and we'll get something set up. It's that easy. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Instructor John Dixon, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello and welcome to episode 124 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple, to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I'm coming to you today from Heartland, Michigan, where I'm in town to deliver a situational awareness program for the Heartland-Deerfield Fire Department, as well as the surrounding departments. We had a great turnout today, and a wonderful participation by the attendees. Thank you to Chief Adam Carroll for hosting and for buying a copy of my latest book, Situational Awareness Matters, Volume 3, for everyone who attended. This is huge. That's a real value add to the attendees to be able to have a book to reference when they go back to their departments. I mentioned in the last episode that I'll be rolling out the newly updated version of the Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy. Call it Academy 2.0 if you will. The problem with the first version of the Academy was it was just too big. It was too much to go through. It was 40 hours to complete it. And now I've broken it down into much smaller, much more manageable individual courses that can last anywhere from 30 minutes on the high end up to maybe 2 hours, and that would be pretty rare. Training officers will be able to track participation, and there will be quizzes along the way to verify knowledge transfer. I know there are many departments that can't afford for one reason or another to host a Situational Awareness Matters live tour stop event. The Academy will make it affordable for your department to be able to share this valuable content taught by me. Your personnel will be able to take the classes in bite-sized increments, and the whole organization can get up to speed on the topic of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making. Now, you're probably wondering when's it going to come out. Not for a little while yet, like maybe December, maybe January, I'm guessing. In case you're wondering why it's going to take so long, I'm using professional curriculum developers to make sure the Academy gives you a robust learning experience. It's going to be awesome. Just be patient. I've received a lot of emails asking about when the Academy is coming back, and so just stay tuned. I'm also transitioning the monthly newsletter to a weekly newsletter. It'll be much smaller and quicker for you to get through. The monthly newsletter contained a lot of material. If I'm guilty of anything, it might be oversharing in content. I just don't want anybody to ever think that I'm holding anything back, because that has certainly not ever been my motive, and oftentimes I'm overshare. Some people say, some experts say blog articles should only be 300 words. Well, my blog articles are often 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 words, because I want to share everything that I know on that particular topic. Anyhow, the newsletter is going to go to be a weekly newsletter, and that'll take you, 3 to 5 minutes to get through it, and at least that's my goal. So look for the newsletter becoming weekly now if you are a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, I'll tell you a little bit later about how you can subscribe to the newsletter. If you're interested in attending one of the already scheduled upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events, head over to the SA Matters website and click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. More than 500 agencies on 4 continents have hosted Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events. If you're interested in hosting a tour stop in 2016, just go to the SA Matters website, click on the Contact Us tab, we'll get something set up for you. As I mentioned at the top of the podcast, my fall schedule has some openings in October, November, December. So if you're nearing the end of your budget year and you have a little bit of funds left and you're looking to host a valuable training program for your members, just contact me and we'll get something set up for you. I'm also actively booking the 2017 programs. And I want to announce now, so there isn't any surprises, that I'm going to cap the number of programs I do in 2017 to spend more time with my family. That's something I've not been very good at, and I want to be better at. That's one of my goals for next year. As demand increases, I'll continue to add some more master instructors. I added one this year so far, and as demand goes up, then I'll consider adding more. But if you want to book me, now's the time to get on the schedule. Just swing by the SA Matters website and click on the Contact Us link. Here's a tip for how you can host a program at a reduced cost. I schedule many what I call companion programs. These are programs on adjoining days to other programs. So if you see I'm delivering a program within a couple hours of your department and you'd like to come along as a companion, then you can save as much as 20% off the program cost by being a companion to an existing program. Okay, in today's feature segment, we're going to talk about how facilitated debriefings used in aviation can be used by first responder agencies to improve safety. I'm going to jump right into the feature segment now, but when I'm done, stick around because I'm going to announce where you may be able to attend an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop event. Okay, let's jump right into our feature segment as we look at facilitated debriefings. One of the things I'm thankful for in life, among many, is safe air travel. A lot of time, effort, and money is spent to ensure flight crews develop and maintain strong situational awareness. As a result, your chances of getting killed in a commercial airline accident while traveling with one of the top 20 U.S. carriers is roughly 1 in 87 million. That gives me a lot of comfort. But it also causes me, as a researcher and a practitioner of first responder safety, to contemplate how the airlines have been able to create such an impeccable safety record. From that inquiry has come many lessons that I now share with first responders. One of those is a process I use to help organizations learn from near misses and casualties called facilitated debriefings. Here's how it works. A facilitated debrief is a very productive way to glean the lessons of a casualty or near-miss event and create a plan for self-improvement. The airlines have been using facilitated debriefings for years to improve aviation safety. The debrief process is very different from what you might see from an OSHA investigation or a NIOSH inquiry. The questions are different, the motives are different, and the outcomes are also very different. For both OSHA and NIOSH, the investigation process uses a scripted set of questions, and the reports are a structured assessment of the organization based on the objectives set by the investigating agency. There's really nothing wrong with that, but the reports are limited in their findings. In a facilitated debrief, the facilitator is not restricted by the rules of any federal agency to guide the inquiry. No questions or areas of operation are off limits, and the process often uncovers many opportunities for self-reflection and self-improvement that would never otherwise have been identified. If you're like me, I'm sure you read after-action reports that leave you with more questions than answers about why certain things did or did not happen. The facilitated debriefings dig deep and uncover the answers to those questions. I recommend the debriefing be conducted by public safety practitioners from outside of your department. The facilitator should be familiar with our industry's best practices, and highly qualified facilitators will go way beyond citing chapter and verse from laws and national standards that may be devoid of real applicability to the department who's experienced a near miss or a casualty. OSHA and NIOSH will do enough of that. The recommendations are very organization-specific in a facilitated debriefing and seek to identify root causes for the incident and offer tangible solutions for that specific department. Topical areas addressed in a facilitated debriefing might, for example, include an extensive look at organizational communications, culture, teamwork, decision-making, dispatch, accountability, command, training, physical fitness, SOPs, SOGs, and even hiring and promotion practices. One of the best features about a facilitated debrief is the organization's administration and members can take comfort in knowing that debriefings are not an investigation, and the lessons are being captured for the sake of organizational improvement, not punishment, fines, or to create a list of mistakes that should not have happened. In fact, when I do a facilitated debriefing, one of the rules that I establish with the administration up front is that no discipline will result from the debriefings. If the administration cannot agree to that, then I will not conduct the debriefing, because it cannot be punitive if you want the lessons truly to surface. There is no judgment in a facilitated debriefing process. The facilitators are there to learn from the members who were boots on the ground at the incident, to obtain an intense understanding of how and why, and to give immediate, usable advice that will improve safety. The facilitated debrief report is issued to the department to be used in any way that they see fit. Some use it as a blueprint to organize committees to evaluate how to improve various aspects of the organization. Some don't. The report is issued confidentially to the organization and is not published, and is not subject to the scrutiny of others, unless, of course, the department would wish to share their lessons, and many do. Okay, now let's look at a near-miss event reported through the National Near-Miss Reporting System. SCBA complacency results in an injury. Before entering a burning structure, a firefighter didn't ensure that his SCBA was fully functioning and donned properly. Upon entry, he inhaled the interior smoke and combustion gases, resulting in an injury and hospitalization. This week's report emphasizes the importance of the basics when donning our equipment. The event description. An engine crew arrived at a working structure fire in a single-story wood-frame residence with heavy smoke visible on side A. The firefighters entered the front door to pursue an offensive interior attack, and they were met with heavy, dark smoke down to the floor level with high heat conditions. Within 2 minutes of entering the structure, one of the firefighters inhaled 2 breaths of heated smoke and gas. The firefighter immediately exited the building and notified command. He was evaluated by paramedics and transported to the hospital for follow-up care. The firefighter's blood gases were normal for CO and other fire-related gases, and he didn't suffer long-term residual injury. Following the incident, the fire department conducted a full investigation on the chain of events. The firefighter had checked his equipment at the beginning of his shift, and all components were working properly. The SCBA was removed from service, and certified technicians evaluated the mask and unit. The firefighter was issued a new mask along with fit testing to confirm the seal. It was determined that the firefighter had been improperly storing the facepiece and that his seal was potentially impaired as a result. It was also determined that the firefighter didn't completely open the valve on the bottle before entering the fire. All other causes were eliminated. The takeaways. Regardless of the simplicity of the skill, there are always opportunities for training to enhance our proficiency with the basics. A failed simple task, such as not fully opening the SCBA cylinder, can slow the tempo of a fireground operation and can cause distractions when one of our own is injured. Making sure that our PPE is donned correctly is paramount when entering an IDLH environment. This department conducted a full investigation after the event. While the report didn't delineate how the firefighter stored the mask, it highlights that we should review the manufacturer's recommendations on best practices for storage of equipment. While a shortcut may give us a few seconds advantage, if that shortcut takes us off the fireground, it isn't worth it. Some things for discussion. What is your department's policy and guideline for SCBA use and operation? What are the best practices for SCBA donning and use? Before entering a hot zone or IDLH environment, what kinds of actions can personnel take to ensure that SCBA and PPE are going to function correctly? What does your SCBA manufacturer's manual say about operation and use? Specifically, how is it to be stored, and what are the function checks when it is donned? What can your crew do to increase competency operating an SCBA and an SCBA cylinder with gloved hands? Leading practices. Researching LODD reports, you may notice that it's often the small things that add up to the root cause of a fatality. Regular drills on the basics are incredibly important. We can become complacent in our basic Firefighter 1 and 2 skills due to the high demand of various other types of knowledge, skills, and abilities that we must learn and perform. The proper use of SCBA is the only barrier between your health and severe injury or death and many types of responses. We must ensure we hone the most basic skills of our profession. Always, without fail, open your SCBA cylinder completely. This report also mentions the importance of following the manufacturer's recommendation in use and storage of PPE. Like our previous reports of the week that mention the importance of proper equipment maintenance, following the guidelines from the manufacturer applies to all the tools in our toolbox. Keeping our equipment clean and conducting regular function checks ensures serviceability. Every manufacturer is different, so it's important to review your manufacturer's recommendations for your PPE. If you'd like to learn more about this near-miss event or other near-miss events, visit www.firefighternearmiss.com. Okay, as I always do, I'd like to take a moment to thank the departments and organizations that have hosted some recent Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events. I do this to show my appreciation to the organizations who put forth the the effort to organize, advertise, and fund great training experiences for their members and others in their region. Your efforts to bring this valuable and powerful training on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making to your members and others in your region are greatly appreciated. Recent tour stops included Fire Rescue International in San Antonio, Texas, where I did 3 programs, the Zionsville Fire Department in Indiana, where I did 2 programs, a full-week Company Officer Development Institute program. If you want to learn more about that, listen to last week's episode. And a flawed situational awareness program, and of course where I am now, Heartland Deerfield Fire Department in Michigan, where I'm doing a flawed situational awareness program. After I complete the program in Michigan, I'm going to Seattle with my 2 sons, Cameron, a Madison, Wisconsin firefighter, and my son Micah, a fire explorer, and we're going to meet up with my good friend, Buckley, Washington Fire Chief Alan Predmore, to do some hiking in Mount Rainier. No, we're not going to summit. Instead, we're going to do a portion of the Wonderland Trail that traverses around the base of the mountain. That is, if the weather cooperates. This will be my 3rd time there, and we've not had too much in the way of good weather, and I take a lot of ribbing about bringing bad weather to Washington State whenever I come to do the hike. So I'll report back on that and watch for some pictures on my social media feeds and upcoming issues of the newsletter. If you're interested in attending an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop, you can catch me on September 8th at the Arizona State Fire School in Mesa, Arizona, where I'm giving the keynote address. September 8th, my master instructor, Jerry Strike, will be at the Southwest Fire and EMS Chiefs Association Conference in Meridian, Idaho. September 10th, I'll be at the Upper Providence Township Fire Department near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. September 23rd, I'll be at the Wisconsin Fire Chiefs Association Conference. September 27th, I'll be doing a program for the International Association of Fire Chiefs Company Officer Leadership Seminar in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm doing 2 programs there, training for failure and flawed situational awareness. September 29th, a program for the Welcome Fire Department in Minnesota. September 30th, a program for the Sioux Falls Fire Department in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I'm keynoting their recruit class graduation. October 1, a program for the Howard Fire Department in Howard, South Dakota. October 17th, a program for the Montana APCO Group in Great Falls, Montana. October 19th at Firehouse Expo in Nashville. October 28th, the North Dakota Hazmat Conference in Bismarck, North Dakota. Thank you so much to all the program hosts, and here's hoping there'll be a tour stop near you, and we'll get a chance to meet up. The last time I was delivering situational awareness programs in southwest Minnesota, I stopped by to visit my sponsor of this podcast show, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire makes amazing all-poly fire apparatus that's changing the industry. You seriously need to check them out. Check them out. MidwestFire.com. Anyhow, while I was down there, I got a chance to sit down and talk to a few employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Let's listen into a conversation that I had with account executive Dalton Lingbeck about custom-built and stock-built apparatus and inventory and how to start the process of designing and building your fire truck. All right, Dalton, do you guys do you do custom builds, or do you do stock builds, or do you do both? Do you maintain an inventory of trucks that people can just, buy today and have delivered tomorrow? How does all that work?
Well, we actually do both, and as much as we can keep stock trucks on hand, we have an inventory, but that's the hard part. We do a lot of custom trucks every year. It's what we do. I mean, we are here to build what the department needs. But we also do stock trucks because a lot of people are in immediate need of a truck. We do stock 3000s, we do stock 2000s, we do stock brush trucks. It really depends on what has gone out the door. We try to slot out 2 production spots a quarter for stock units. And on our website, you'll see stock units on our website. You'll see descriptions for them. You'll see specs, but they're not necessarily always in stock. They're standard builds, quote unquote. So the best thing for you to do is if you're in need of a truck sooner than later, don't hesitate and call us up and see what we have on hand. Because right now, I'm looking out the window into our showroom, and we have a stock 3000 sitting there right now. It's ready to go whenever, whoever needs it.
Yeah, Dalton, you just threw a question into my mind. And if somebody is, like, thinking at some point they're going to need a fire truck, how far in advance of needing a fire truck should somebody at least start to make an inquiry and start to have a conversation and establish a rapport and relationship? I'm guessing it's something short of waking up today and saying we need a truck tomorrow, but putting some thought in the process of what would we want our new truck to have and whether they have a committee or not. How far you have a lot of dealings with a lot of customers, and I'm sure you see ones that really have it together and ones that are struggling and challenged. How far out for those ones that you would call the success stories? How far out before they actually get to a purchase does this dance or this process begin of working with somebody who can help them through the process?
Well, if I understand your question correctly, we're going to kind of not include the people that need an apparatus immediately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Most success stories, honestly, are 6 months and more. You really want to get an idea of what truck you need and what truck you guys are going to spec out. The specking out process is the hardest part because you're talking with a lot of people trying to get ideas on the paper, and that's what we are here for. We're here to talk about that. But the cool thing about with us is obviously, like I said in a previous question, is that we are direct communication, right? We're directly at the facility. So any questions, all questions that we can answer are going to be answered no matter what. But what you want to do is you want to get specs on the paper, you want to go through those specs, and you want to make sure everything is accurate, because the worst thing that can happen is for a truck to be incomplete or wrong when you take delivery of it. That's what we try to make sure does not happen. So like I said, try to prepare as long as you can beforehand. Obviously there are situations where it can build up a couple of weeks, and here we go. We try to make it as easy as possible for you, try to make it as comfortable as possible for you. But yeah, prepare.
Oh, there you go. If you're thinking about buying a truck, don't wake up on Monday and say we need to buy a truck on Tuesday. Put some thought into it. Reach out to Midwest Fire. Have some conversations and start to get some ideas flowing. As you heard from Dalton, the best success stories are those that start about 6 months before they're going to actually buy the truck, of just gathering thoughts and ideas and trying to see what's available and what's best for them. So check them out, MidwestFire.com. Thank you, Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison, and all your staff for your awesome commitment to improving first responder safety. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. Hey, if you're interested in seeing all the locations for upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, head over to the SA Matters website and click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. This schedule is always changing, so check back often. I want to share a piece of feedback that I received. I don't share this because I want to brag, but I want to show my appreciation to those who take the time to send an inspiring message to me. And this one truly was inspiring. And I just can't tell you how good it makes me feel when someone takes the time to send me a message. So here it is. Dear Dr. Gasaway, I recently attended your presentation. I can say with great certainty that the service to your fellow firefighters is historic. Your research and science involved is going to change my level of performance. Your delivery was superb. Thank you for your commitment to those who have lost their lives and their families and friends that have been left behind. You have honored all of them by keeping their stories in the forefront, by showing us how to use our senses efficiently and recognizing our own human limitations. Again, I thank you. Warmest regards, Ben Russell, Captain of the Walkerville Fire and Rescue in Walkerville, Michigan. Ben, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. Thank you. If you want to send me some feedback, I'd love to hear from you too. Just visit the SA Matters website and click on the Contact Us link. It's really, really that easy. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, contact me on by the contact us link, and we'll set up an interview. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss event could save the life of another first responder. That's powerful. If you want to share your experience, contact me. If you haven't subscribed yet to the SA Matters radio podcast, take a moment to go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio if you have an Android device. While you're there, consider leaving some feedback. Seriously, just stop by and say a few words about the podcast. If you like the show, give it a 5-star review. I mean, I've podcasted every week. I haven't missed 1 week since 2014, 124 episodes. Take some time to give a little love back and let me know that you appreciate the show. A lot of time and effort goes into producing and recording and editing and lining up the guests. And a lot of times that's in a hotel room at 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock at night after I've done a program. Your feedback lets me know that you appreciate the show. In case you didn't know, I've written 3 books on situational awareness. These books contain critical lessons for improving your safety and helping you make better decisions. If you want a copy, visit the SA Matters website and order a copy. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners, you can get connected with me there. More than 5,000 members have been connected there, and all you have to do is go to the website, click on the red box on the right-hand side of the homepage, and the membership is free. And I'll send you a special report that I've created for new members called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. If you're not a member yet, head over to the SA Matters website, click on the red box on the right side that says free membership. If you want to get connected with me on social media, you can follow at Rich Gasaway or at SA Matters on Twitter. The Twitter community is about 17,000 between those 2 accounts. Thanks to everybody connected with me there. On LinkedIn, you can also find me by searching Rich Gasaway. And if you want to watch some videos, you can go to the SA Matters TV channel on YouTube. Oh, by the way, if you're going to subscribe to the podcast, it's SA Matters Radio is what you have to look for. SA Matters Radio on iTunes or Stitcher. Well, that's it. Episode 124 is complete. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all of our live event hosts, and thank you, our listener, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.